We go. Hey, welcome back to Magic Crystal Tech Support. I'm Josh. Surrounding me are people.
I'm people.
And a lich.
Yes.
Quotations.
No, that's not
No,
quotations.
quotations around people.
Oh.
I was gonna say, if you want to call me people, that's fine too.
Yes, don't call me late for dinner.
I don't get it. Why would I call you late for dinner?
It's a really old-timey joke.
Why would I call you late when your name is Josh?
Well, I don't know, Caleb. Why would I? Good laugh there, Dale. See, I will name all of you fuckers eventually.
Okay.
Well, I was expecting for me not to name myself. That's the gag we're going for.
I know that's what you do. I know that's what you do, Devin.
At this point, I don't even think you have to introduce me.
You do that thing you do.
Just that weird, like,
Sure.
position. And then
The horror sage.
people say each other's names for no reason, just so you know who they are.
Alright.
And Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy. Yes.
As you all know, we are currently recording a Final Fantasy 1 Let's Play.
Yes.
Movies do
He's
that all the
expositing for no reason.
Yeah, movies do that all the time where they just explain
Yes.
for zero reason.
Thank you for talking to us like we just tuned in.
I forget how long ago it was, but we were at Kayla's house, and Kayla's sister was filming a cute little video of Henley, our daughter, and Caleb was going through the monster manual at this time.
It wasn't the Monster Manual, it was the new Monster Manual. It was Volo's Guide to Monsters, I believe.
Bolo's Guided Monster. You know, the guy that Ian's character stole the hat off of?
The audience doesn't know that story.
They don't need to know that story.
That is true.
For another time. When we actually finish that story. And when Ian's here. But, so, he's going through Volo's Guided Monster, because I think it just came out or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or we just got it. And he has to tell you the rest because he actually knows the name of the actual monster.
Oh, they had two new kinds of hags. And one of them is an anise hag.
Anus
But
hag,
I thought it'd be funny because I found it and I went, anus hag!
At the top of his lungs.
in the middle of the living room.
In the middle of a video.
And it was in the middle of Tessa's cute video.
So we have
And I completely ruined it. It was great.
we have this Alice the Blue, just anus hag.
Did you ruin it, or did you make it better?
Well, it depends on who you are.
He ruined the cutesy part of it, but
I
made
put
it.
the
If you were
fires
looking for a
out.
cute video, I ruined it. But
All right, so why were we stuck in the last dungeon? I forget. We had to leave because.
we were total party killed because I was completely unprepared for petrification.
Oh yeah, we need soft. That's right. I completely forgot
Yeah.
because.
And I know none of this because this is literally my first time here.
At least for a long time.
Devin is the fighter.
Mainly because the rogue is broken in this game and luck doesn't help it at all, so I decided to become the fighter.
Broken in the shitty broken way, not broken in the OP way.
Yeah.
I feel like if they actually did what they wanted to, it probably would have been broken in the OP way.
Probably not, honestly.
No.
Because even with a high critical rate, he probably still wouldn't out DPS the black belt class.
To get my luck score.
Yeah, there's not much you can do much about against the black belt.
Well, technically,
Ian's the martial artist. and
the
Josh the red
grandmaster,
mage and the other white mage.
once he upgrades to grandmaster, if you drop a haste on the grandmaster class, because he'll end up doing like 32 hits every time.
What? What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it gets ridiculous.
Yeah.
You ever seen those scenes in the martial arts movies where they hit somebody in the chest like 12 times in a row in like the blink of an eye? Yeah, he does that but better.
Yeah, it's like watching Goku fight.
You don't want to do the
see his hands move.
North Star saying?
Do what?
Oh, I know what
Or-
you're talking about.
Better yet, the JoJo. Ora.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
All right.
I pictured the journey to the North Star scene.
You're
Yeah,
already
that-
dead.
Oh! Yeah.
Ha ha ha! I barely felt your blows.
You're already dead. Nani? Yeah.
It's like Moira Shinryu or something like that.
When,
I can't speak English, so I can't speak Japanese either.
Yeah.
I do French really well. It's really weird. I don't know why. Granted, it was like kindergarten, first grade French, but I mean, I can pronounce that better than English.
I only speak ancient languages lost to man.
What eldritch horror was that?
Me. Sorry, I have gas.
That is something.
Scary as fuck.
I'm guessing it was a random toy. Or it's whatever Corey's doing.
You're the kind of people who thought Sid was the protagonist in Toy Story.
He wasn't.
You mean antagonist?
Those toys are abominations against God, man, and nature and must be destroyed.
And also, when you take things out of context, he was just a creative kid that made artistic projects from his own property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
He didn't know that toys had
His
a
sisters too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one jerky thing he did, was he took
But,
his
like
sister's
that's
dolls.
the older sibling thing. People grew out of it.
Because
He was also kind of an asshole. But
he had no way of knowing that those toys were sentient.
Right.
no, but he also had no manners to the people he interacted with. You know.
And he kind of beat the shit out of the arcade game.
You know, maybe he was just autistic. Maybe he
That
had
is possible.
Asperger's syndrome
It's
or
100%
something.
possible.
Oh yeah, that's right. Dale does have Maxwell Silverhammer, doesn't he?
Oh,
Yeah, not that it does him much good with the bad strength score, but
But-
that's okay.
But I thought Maxwell Silverhammer made sure that he was dead.
Well,
You're
yeah.
not living up to the reputation there, Maxwell.
Well, this is Dale Silverhammer. It's not nearly as good.
Apparently.
But you know what does break gargoyles? Ian's fist. Apparently.
Well, yeah.
It
That's all those karate-
counts as
All those
bludgeoning.
karate punching stone things.
Yeah.
It's like that Batman Dragon movie we saw where like Batman just punched that rock till it exploded.
Who is it, Chris Redfield?
Oh yeah.
That boulder punching asshole.
I love that reference.
I think my favorite I think my favorite Resident Evil is it Jill, who's the master of unlocking.
Yeah.
That is
That's
the
correct.
that is the worst nickname you could have.
That was the whole point of Barry, though. He made up so many bad jokes.
You were almost a Jill sandwich.
Yeah.
You know, everyone loved Barry.
Barry
for it.
was.
Jill, the
The
master
king of
of
bad puns.
unlocking. Please stop calling me that. I have told you 1,000 times. I used a coat hanger to open your car door one time, dude.
You missed. That's a load of bull.
Let's be honest. The only antagonist in the entire Toy Story series is Stinky Pete and Alexo.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think I've only ever seen the first one, and like the third one I half watched with the kids, so I don't have the Toy Story love a lot of people do.
In the first movie, Woody's the antagonist.
Yeah,
Well, he
kind of.
was going to be like a bigger asshole. They toned him down.
Well, here's the thing: you can be an antagonist and not be evil.
Mm-hmm.
So I do absolutely think Woody was the antagonist of the first one. He just wasn't evil; he just was selfish.
Oh, yeah. He learns his lesson.
Exactly. Isn't that the whole point of the
Yeah.
first Toy Story
Yeah.
movie?
But in the
So Woody to learn he's not
second
the
one,
most
Stinky
important
Pete
thing
is
in
an
the world.
asshole just being an asshole, and Lux is an asshole just being an asshole.
Technically, Stinky Pete has a reason.
He has more reason than Luxo.
Yes.
See, I always thought that the real villain of the Toy Story movie was the Disney Corporation that keeps pumping out soulless sequels
Yeah.
and
it's
short
true.
films.
I agree. Although I think Toy Story 2 is better than Toy Story 1.
I thought the villain of the Toy Story franchise was growing up.
That's also true. I agree. I feel like Toy Story 2 is probably the best Toy Story as well. Solely because I remember more scenes from it, and I find a lot of the scenes are more.
Al's Toy Barn is amazing.
Oh god, this is.
I'm not sure I could name a scene out of Toy Story that wasn't a meme.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And it also simplified my love for him with the whole TV scene where he's like, "We'll get back to it." It's
Yeah.
too late.
Did the werewolf poison somebody?
Yes.
Was it me?
No, it was
I think
Ian.
it was Ian.
Yeah.
Oh,
Poison.
he is
no,
poisoned.
whatever shall we do?
Apparently beat feet.
Because despite them poisoning everybody, it isn't friggin' worth it.
Do we have antidotes?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Does the white mage in this one get the ability to take away status effects on people?
Yes.
Asuna?
Not Asuna. That's
get-
all individual and it's all very dependent on levels.
Yeah,
Okay.
like they do get pure, which cures poison.
When does Asuna come into play? Like, what game was Asuna coming?
Not this one though.
I can understand that, but I was just curious.
I know as soon as the 4, so at the very least 4.
One of the most bullcrap spells was introduced in 2.
Bullcrap spell.
Osmos.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, when
What's
you
that?
suck MP out of you.
It costs 0 mana. It costs 0 MP. Yet it sucks MP from your enemies. You basically get free MP at the cost of an attack turn.
Well, I think that's the idea, was it so that once a mage ran out of MP, they weren't just sitting there with their thumb up their ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it is so exploitable.
It is true.
But it's also in the worst Final Fantasy according to you guys.
Well, it's in other games too.
Yeah.
Speaking of weird Final Fantasy stuff, so I've been playing Bravely Default 2, and I finally pinpointed what I don't like about it. Or 3 things I don't like about it. The first is the weight system for your
Okay.
equipment. So your character will have a certain amount of weight, so they can equip 20 units of weight. Now this doesn't mean anything. Like, a mithril dagger might have more weight than a longsword. It just is a way to artificially limit the equipment you can put on your characters.
Yeah, that bothered me.
Like, why don't you just say you have to be at least level 20 to put this equipment on the character if you're gonna do that shit? I hated that. The second, I think that the whole ship thing is way less interesting than the city building thing. And the third, and the biggest thing I don't like about it, is the classes suck.
yeah.
The classes get no worth a shit passive abilities. None of the passive... You get like 1 or 2 per class, and none of them are worth a shit. Like, fucking black mages get lunar powered. What the fuck is that? That is useless. You can take that lunar power and shove it up your
What's
ass.
it do?
It gives you a slight bonus to your magic attack.
At night.
It's like magic attack, evasion, and you get very, very pointlessly tiny mana regeneration at night. But it's a very, very small bonus. And then white mages get solar powered, which is effectively the same thing if you're at day, which is a little better because most of your adventuring is going to be done at day. But like lunar powered is useless.
I
Like,
did find that in combination, I would pack both so that you always got it, but
but even so, that's just so less fun to use than MP plus 20%, or M attack plus 20%, or any of the old abilities from Bravely Default 2, Revenge, and
yeah.
In the Red. They're just like these classes are pointless. Like, I don't even see what the point of, like, none of the classes I look at any of the stuff on I'm excited about. Like, in Bravely Default and Bravely Second, where I look at a new class and like, oh man, I'm excited to unlock this ability. And just none of that stuff is in Bravely Default 2. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I got Thundara now. Good for me.
And a lot of the classes just kind of bleeded into each other. Because a lot of them didn't deviate enough for me to really notice, like,
Right.
what is this class?
Yeah, I remember you guys talking about the first one, like how much you love it.
Oh, the first Bravely Default's amazing.
I actually prefer Bravely Default or Bravely Second a little bit. I think the classes in Bravely Second are more fun, and
Yeah.
I really like Magnolia.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Agnes.
Agnes.
I like Angus Beef and Ring a Bell too, but
I don't think I've ever played any of the Bravely Default games.
It's Nintendo's in
yeah, they're 3DS games.
I've played some Nintendo stuff, but no, I've never played any.
They're 3DS
Yes,
games, and they are
If you're
effective.
questioning if you play a game and I go, it's Nintendo, I already know you haven't played it. You're questioning.
And they're very, very. They feel very much like a Final Fantasy game.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I believe the original Bravely Default was meant to be a Final Fantasy game
Yes.
originally.
It was like a fan Final Fantasy game, and then Square actually approached them. Rather than giving them a cease and desist order, they went like, why don't you do this? It worked for us and make something.
You see, that's what a lot of the game companies should do with fan-made games. Go, that looks a really good game. Stop making it and make it for us now.
Well, here's the problem. If they do that, they have to admit that their shitty teams are shitty. Their teams aren't shitty. Their teams are at guys who are working 120-hour work weeks for 40 hours of pay. So yeah, everyone's going to be shitty in that situation.
Well, see, one of the problems is that people aren't the things that tend to get cease and desisted a lot aren't actually new games.
Valid.
They're remaking old games.
Valid. I mean, a lot of the cease and desist are people who just took Pokemon Platinum and then just made a new story.
One of the things that drives me insane are when these companies cease and desist people who make fan releases of games that the company isn't releasing. Like, oh hey, I made a fan release of Legend of Legaia and level 5, I believe it is.
Yeah, probably.
And it's like, no, cease and desist. I'm like, okay, then give us a re-release. We want it. If you re-released Legaia and Legaia 2 for the PlayStation 4, 5, whatever, we would buy it. But you're not. So fuck you, I'm gonna get it where I can get it.
Big example
That's
of
kind of what
that.
happened with Left 4 Dead.
Big example of that is Mother 3.
Yeah, exactly. We want it. We are willing to give you money for it. You don't want our money, so fuck you. We'll we'll give our money to someone else. Give our time to someone else.
It's kind of what happened with Left 4 Dead. The creators of Left 4 Dead kind of left the company and made a new company, and they made Back 4 Blood, which is basically Left 4 Dead, but
With different characters.
different characters.
No, I would imagine.
Different characters and the things had different names because they couldn't use the same names.
Yep.
Because Valve apparently can't count past 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, the fans for Left 4 Dead 1 out of 3, they probably would have gotten so much money.
But it's so weird because Valve, like, are letting those fan releases of Half-Life come out. Like,
Black Mesa.
yeah, I don't remember what they were called.
Black Mesa was one. There's also
Like Alex something?
Half-Life Alyx was made by them.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
It's an official
It's a
game.
VR game.
It's VR. Though,
I know it's a
because
VR game.
It's designed to push their Steam VR.
But like, but the thing about the Black Mesa game was it was released on the Valve server, so like,
Yep.
in a way, it's kind of.
Well, good news. We actually reached the vampire.
Woo! Do we have a wooden stake?
Do not believe we do.
Do we have a sunlight?
In a-
Garlic?
In a bloody cave,
Does the White Mage have holy?
we have turn undead, essentially harm.
Well, there you go.
Isn't it a holy level 9 spell?
Yeah. 8. Level 8 spell, yes.
Which 8 is the highest it gets
Yes.
here, so yeah. All living things were born to die. No one can defeat me, the vampire.
I thought you just called the vampire.
He's just,
Die, monster! You don't belong in this world.
Says the monster.
Heh. Reference. Yes. A symphony.
Symphony
Played at
Six.
night, I suppose.
I get that reference.
Good.
For you see, it was not, or was it?
Not by my hands that I was once again given flesh. I was brought by humans who wish to pay me tribute. Oh, you... Alright. Yes. Beat the crap out. Oh, that was easy.
Oh, wow. Are we like over leveled?
No, we're not. Honestly, the vampire is a poser. Best way to explain it. He's not a really good boss. He's like a fake boss. Because the real boss is actually back here.
Oh god.
There's something. There is a stone plate on the floor. You sense something evil?
Evil.
Evil!
Every villain is bones.
Do I have to actually leave with the ruby first? I do not remember. Yes. I do actually have to leave with the ruby first.
Okay.
Oh, we got the ruby, right?
We do have the ruby.
No.
Crud,
Oh
cockatrice.
god.
Run. Run as fast as you can.
Yes. Good, it's a mess.
Oh.
Well, he's stone.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You can't run. Oh, you missed, Josh. They didn't stop Ian.
Nope.
That's good. Jesus. You're too Danish.
It's
So
not-
is light just like the basic?
Lit is lightning.
Yeah. Oh, lightning. Okay.
Because they were limited to 4 letters.
Yeah.
So it's lit 2.
That's why instead of layers, you...
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
At least
I
we
just-
didn't get like owned this time.
I also like the information of how Kingdom Hearts 3 made Donald Duck the most powerful mage in freaking Square Enix history, and now I'm really curious on who made that decision. Because I'm really hoping it's Square Enix saying, fuck it, let's make Donald Duck the most powerful mage. But knowing Disney, I'm pretty sure Disney forced it.
I mean, I don't know why Disney would force them to make Donald a mage though.
Well,
Anything Donald should be able to bring. He's got anger issues.
I don't know, but I mean, Goofy got the shield, so he became the warrior.
I mean, you can have a team without a spellcaster. He's spellcaster. I think Donald should have been barbarian-ish, and then obviously Goofy's the.
But Goofy's so tall and lanky and clearly larger than anybody else.
Well, and Goofy was just the tank basically. Donald would have been damage. Goofy would have been tank.
Well, I think he also didn't want
Well, yeah, except then your main party that goes with you across all the worlds wouldn't have a magic user. Except for you.
but
Say, you
I
magic
think
no matter
the
what
problem
you are.
was they probably didn't want to put a weapon in a Disney character's hand. Because if you go through the entire game, I don't think
Don't
any
put a
of the
weapon in
Disney
his hand.
characters- Huh?
Don't put a weapon in his hand. Make him fight people with his fist.
That would be cool. Donald Duck just squaring up. with people.
Donald just fucking pugilisting it up. Just up.
Aladdin, in the first one at
Piecing
least,
people up.
Oh yeah, Aladdin did have the scimitar.
Aladdin had a
Shit.
scimitar, Tarzan had a
Catch his
spear,
hands.
I absolutely
I thought
had.
Tarzan did his
Hercules had a
hands, I
sword.
forgot.
Nope, he had a spear.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
absolutely had no problem with Donald being a wizard.
I didn't have
Me
a
neither.
problem with Donald being a wizard. I just don't. I think it makes more sense for Donald to be a fighter character because Donald has anger issues.
Maybe that's why he's the most powerful mage.
we
He was
beat the
able to. The
vampire?
only way to
Yeah, actually, we made it look
easy.
easy.
Really,
really?
pissed off.
That's because he's
I
a
just like
fake
Donald
boss.
Barbarian.
Yeah. Or sub-boss, I
I think it'd be
suppose.
cool to choose every person's.
Then I
class.
found out we have to go back. We took the
To be
ruby
fair-
from his
Anger
Cha-
issues.
chamber, and we have to leave with the ruby.
And lightning.
and do the thing we need to
Which
do
he
with the
does.
ruby before we can go back. Which is bunk, but you know.
You can do that with any element, really.
Yeah.
Do what?
Technically, when he cast Zeta Flare, he was extremely pissed off. The only reason why he did it was because he was extremely pissed off and wasn't thinking. And Goofy even was like, no, don't fucking do it.
Remember,
So that
Zeta-
implies Donald's either talked to Goofy about Zeta Flare, or he's done it before.
Remember, Zeta Flare will kill you,
Or
a
he's
yuck.
never done it before, and Goofy's like, what could it
So the
Goofy's never seen Donald this pissed off before, and he's like, I don't want to know what's gonna happen.
So the thing about Donald in Kingdom Hearts is, I think he's, what's the term, a primal mage? He doesn't use magic based on like incantations and like recited runes. He's one of those ones that uses his magic like emotion funneled.
I mean, when he does cast, he does look very pissed off.
I don't know what's he's pissed off.
True.
That's why it's hard to see Donald Duck and not see him just bitch face. Like,
At the same time, I was kind of hoping to at least see Donald Duck do that little like put him up thing he does in the cartoons. I don't think he's ever done this. I don't remember seeing him do it in the games.
But he should. I
I'm just
agree.
saying, I think Donald Duck should have been a pugilist.
Well, then what would Goofy have been?
Goofy can stay the same.
Well, then what are you gonna
Why-
do for your wizard and your
The way I
what?
figure is,
No matter what thing you pick in the beginning of the game, you always use magic in that game, Sora.
well, yes,
Well, Sora's the Gish character.
Yeah.
The what character?
Gish, half fighter, half mage.
Ah,
I don't know where the term comes from, but it's what like spell swords are called in D&D all the time. They're like, I'm gonna make
I
a
just call
Gish.
it red mages.
I'm gonna make a Gish build. Well, if you're using Final Fantasy terminology, the proper term would be sorcerer.
Huh.
Because in the game, sorcerers that have sorcerer classes, they tend to be the ones that cast spell swords. Or if you're using the Bravely Default terminology, spell fencer.
Well, he also
Although the Hawkeye is just 1,000 times better than the spell fencer.
Caleb also brought up the thing of you could also pick everyone's class at the beginning of the game.
I think it'd be cool to pick everybody's class.
Like you make it more the hell you want.
You
that
can
way, it's
make
up
your
to you.
own. I realized all the Disney characters had to have like their own.
The big issue with that whole idea of Kingdom Hearts is it doesn't really matter. It's not like
Listen, I want to see Donald Duck deck the bitch, okay?
to be fair, he will smack a bitch with his pimp stick.
He has.
If he's at MP, he will totally smack a bitch
Oh,
with
yeah.
his pimp stick.
It's awesome. And he runs out of MP on like what, the first 5 seconds of fighting?
Yeah, basically. Generally, I tend to have
To
him.
be honest with you though, if I was a spellcaster, I would too.
I tend to have his AI cast spells pretty conservatively.
I think I should change his AI then. I forget why I had him on it.
I generally just use Donald as a white mage, honestly. He heals me
I
every
do think
once.
it's like the best use for him.
Well, when I play Kingdom Hearts, I literally just ignore the party and just do my own thing.
yeah.
Just every once in a while, my hit points will go back to full. I'm like, oh, thanks, Donald. Alright, back to ignoring you.
All I know is he sounds awfully angry when he yells Sora and then heals you.
But yeah, I
The
would
one
be.
thing I get pissed
He's
off
pissed off. He's like, I have to deal with
is
your.
Oh my god.
Donald always heals me right when I just hit cure for myself.
Yeah, that
So I get
happens.
healed by him and then I heal myself. I'm like, fuck.
That happens a lot too.
See, you're healing your health. Donald's healing your soul. Okay. There's a difference.
My biggest issue with the AI in Kingdom Hearts was always that if I didn't turn
Good job,
off,
Mizu.
Yeah, I did something.
You killed somebody.
Hell yeah.
if I didn't turn off auto renewal on the items, I'd be out of items in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Hey, because they would use all your stuff.
Oh,
I did hate that.
I never used items in Kingdom Hearts.
I'm in the same boat as you in there. I never used.
I just never used
I
them.
literally ended the game with like 99 of everything I could get.
Yeah,
You know?
I didn't use items at all, but the AI would use them,
I just didn't give them items.
Yeah.
which sucks if auto renewal ends up on.
I just never put I just
Luckily,
never
I
put
don't know. It's not really on.
Well, that's what I didn't even know they were on, and all of a sudden I was out of ether. But why the hell am I out of ethers?
I think I
Take
started the
a
same
big
one, so I don't
feathered
really
guess.
problem. But as you were away, the whole reason we started this conversation was because we were talking about Flare, which reminded me of the fact that Donald Duck is canonically the strongest mage in Square Enix's.
Because up to that point, I had never heard of Zeta Flare.
And Zeta Flare is just like 10 times more.
And
To be fair,
And apparently kills you.
To be fair, Kingdom Hearts absolutely runs on the anime style of thing of let's make everything bigger and louder without actually increasing the scale of anything. Dragon Ball Z.
I mean, it looks pretty powerful, but I was kind of curious on who decided that, Square Enix or Disney? Because it was Square Enix, that's hilarious. If it was Disney, fuck you.
I'm just trying to get out of this darn
I think in the
cave.
Kingdom Hearts universe, then it makes sense
God.
for Donald to be powerful mage. 'Cause you don't really hear about many other.
This is
Crazy
literally
things
one
in
of
the
the
Kingdom Hearts
worst
universe.
things about old RPGs.
And honestly,
Is backtracking out of dungeons.
Yeah.
we don't know if Donald Duck died or not from Zeta Flare because everything gets reset in like the next 5 minutes.
Why?
I forget why, but like 5 minutes after he casts Zeta Flare, something happens to where the fight got rewound to the beginning of the fight, and Sora's like, well, I know how to fix this problem, and fixes it.
So let me explain to you the plot of Kingdom Hearts.
Please
Fuck.
don't.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Please don't actually ever try to explain the plot of that fucking game.
Okay, I've played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and that is the extent of my Kingdom Hearts knowledge. At the point
you,
where, in my video game franchise, I have to fucking watch a concert to get parts of the plot, you can go fuck yourself. There was part of plots revealed in a concert they had in Japan. You know what, Square Enix? Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself with a rake wrapped in barbed wire.
Listen, I watched like an hour-long video explaining the plot, and at the end of it, I still don't know what the fuck happened.
The one guy I watched the plot overview the plot. One of the things he talked about was he went to the Kingdom Hearts Wikia to clarify something, and the Wikia itself said this happened for some reason. He's like, if your own Wikia doesn't know why this happened, you have failed as a story writer.
Which sucks to the Square Enix, because they're normally really good.
Well, I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened.
Disney?
No, I don't think they had plans this far ahead.
Nope.
Nope.
I think just shit was going on, and they're like, what the fuck do we do?
I think
Yeah.
it's game theory. Sorry, Jeremy, go ahead. I didn't
Damn it.
interrupt you.
I wanted to give another example of what Ian was saying. In the Final Fantasy VII compilation, so, you know how they released a bunch of Final Fantasy VII stuff.
Mhm.
In order to get the full story, Final Fantasy VII Before Crisis, which is not Crisis Core, that's a different game.
Jesus, you'd think they're DC with all the crises they're having.
Before Crisis, to be fair, in Square's Final Fantasy VII compilation, Crisis always refers to the exact same incident.
We're separate off the fuck this shit?
Yeah,
Haha, I was actually right. Holy shit.
the Nibelheim incident. That's always what it refers to. If you see Crisis in 7 stuff, you can pretty much guarantee it's talking about the Nibelheim incident.
Or what I'd call is the point in time where Sephiroth said fuck this shit.
Yeah. Anyway, Before Crisis is a phone game that was only released in Japan and only for certain phones.
The
Yes.
fuck, Square Enix?
you can go fuck yourself. And you know what? That rake wrapped in barbed wire you're fucking yourself with, you can go ahead and light it on fire. Because seriously, fuck you for shit like that. It's always like, you watch a movie, and you're like, well, that didn't make any sense. And some people are like, well, if you read the book, no. I came here to watch a movie. I should not have to do homework to understand the narrative I'm being fed. If I have to do homework, you have failed as a narrative writer.
You're gonna make me read the book in order to understand the movie?
No, I'm just gonna fucking read the book. Yeah, I'll just read the fucking book.
But what I was going to say was, I did lose Game Theory, who kind of pointed this out, but they point out, because a lot of fans of Kingdom Hearts say that in Kingdom Hearts 3, the worst level is probably the Frozen level, because it made no fucking sense.
It really doesn't.
So Game Theory pointed out a lot of things, and he came up with a theory that was basically Elsa was supposed to be the main villain that turns into the Heartless.
Yep.
And they took that out because of Frozen 2, because Disney's like, you can't do that.
No, this was before Frozen 2 was a thing, but they didn't want Elsa being portrayed as anywhere near a villain. They didn't want her to become I guarantee it was because they didn't want Elsa to be portrayed in any fashion as being villainous.
Yep. And they're right, probably because they didn't think about making a sequel. Which at the time there was hearsay about possibly having a Frozen 2 sequel.
There was hearsay about having a sequel to Frozen 2 and Frozen was still in fucking theaters.
True.
I thought it was pretty assured after Frozen's basic premiere. I thought Frozen premiered and it was like, okay, there's a sequel coming. Which kind of sucked because, yeah, even the people who made the sequel admitted when they first started the sequel, they had no idea how they were finishing it.
What sequel?
Frozen 2.
But, I mean...
They had no idea what the ending was when they first started making the Frozen 2.
You can tell.
It kind of sucks because I feel like the story that Matt Pat put together in the game theory for Frozen World sounds way cooler than what the fuck they gave us.
Yeah.
Because they could have easily made a redemption arc and she came out okay. I mean, it has happened before. Sora became a freaking Heartless and came back.
Yeah, that's a freaking.
And then we could have a Frozen, like a Elsa fucking nobody. How cool would that have been?
No, I wouldn't have had her become a Heartless, but I would have had her be tainted by darkness. Or maybe using the darkness within her to create a Heartless.
Yeah, we have no clue how
So
that.
pretty much like she could have had the same sort of thing that Riku had.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Riku was technically a bad guy for a little bit.
Like
Push
a head out of his
pulling
ass.
that, yeah, pulling that. Now, but you wouldn't have to worry about having a nobody or a Heartless.
I did
Elsa
appreciate.
be a cunt for a while, and all of a sudden she's not. Just like they did in the movie.
I did appreciate that
Oh shit.
that the end boss thing was basically basically Fenrir.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That was really nice. I did enjoy the end boss, but it did come out of nowhere.
So how's Kingdom Hearts not giving us a Marvel or a Star Wars universe yet?
I'm not sure, but
Just wait.
Well, when 1 and 2 came out, they didn't have either.
No, but by the time 3 came out, they did.
Yeah. I think they did give us a reason why they didn't do that. I can't remember why.
They're probably just keeping that separate. Because honestly, the Marvel and Star Wars can they can just all have their own games and
they did give us Big Hero 6.
Oh yeah, true. We did have Big Hero 6 World, and it was kind of boring.
A little bit.
Well, so was Big Hero 6.
I mean, you said
Ooh,
Fenrir.
hot take.
It was. I mean, I like the movie, but it's not that exciting of a movie.
Damn, I need some aloe. I got burned on that hot take.
Why did you?
I love Big Hero 6.
I know. I definitely enjoyed the movie. I just didn't think it was that exciting of a movie. For like,
Is it just me, or is there just an
Or a Disney
abundance
movie, I
of
guess.
Pixar movies that are about loss and grief?
yeah.
I think whoever's in charge of Pixar has some emotional issues they need to work out.
Well, should we talk about all the dead moms?
Well, in the case of Big Hero 6, the villain's entire motivation was his daughter basically being shot into that death dimension
Disney
and him
just
wanting
hates
revenge.
What?
Well, Pixar loves them though.
Mills. Pixar does love them.
Mills.
Oh yeah.
Because they made a comment about all the dead moms in Disney movies. I'm like, Disney just hate MILFs. And Pixar embraces it. I mean, look at Elastigirl.
And in Big Hero 6, Hero's mom apparently is
This is
Aunt or whatever. But there's a whole
Oh
meme.
shit! Sorry.
There's a whole meme wrapped around how hot she is.
Oh,
Apparently.
Yeah.
Big Hero
This
6
is way
has,
more than a meme.
Oh, I just realized Big Hero 6 has a MILF. Well, she's not really a MILF because she's not a mom, but
Elf?
an elf
Elf.
and a dead mom. Because Hero's mom's dead. They got vote. Holy shit.
Well, we went into the Earth Shrine and killed the vampire and took a ruby. That's
We have to go back now?
we will eventually have to go back. We have to do what we need to do with the ruby next.
Sell it?
No, actually, that has nothing to do with selling it. There
We have to
is
find a very specific inlay in some temple somewhere.
No.
if by inlay you mean feed the ruby to a rock-eating ogre so he steps aside that we pass, then yes.
I mean, technically an ogre could be an inlay.
Yeah.
I mean,
are
isn't
you
that-
gonna tell him no?
isn't that effectively what a mouth is? Just a human inlay where you insert food?
Yeah. There you go.
So there we go. Everything
Mouth
falls
is
along the
inlay.
same fantasy
Template.
trope archetype thing, and always with no deviation ever, and no one can convince me otherwise.
So, the comment about the mouth being inlay just reminded me of the time we played D&D, and we had a new player who was a fighter, and there was this obvious trap that you put your hand in to get a shiny object, and something happens. Obvious trap, and he went, and we're all like, yeah, that's a trap, we're gonna walk away. He went, nah, I'm greedy, I won't grab that.
It's literally an arm-sized hole with something shiny in the bottom
Man,
of it.
at least poke that shit with a stick first.
Nah, just reached in and grabbed it.
He's like,
Damaged him, and he was able to get
Granted,
out.
he didn't make his character very intelligent, and he was like, my character isn't that intelligent, so he probably wouldn't think about that. He had a reason for it. He did explain himself,
That's
but
still...
it was his first time playing.
His
Ever.
intelligence was like what? The 8?
Yeah,
Oh.
he made it an 8.
We did
Which
something.
means technically he could read.
So I feel like that's smart enough to be like,
Yeah, it is.
I agree, but he was playing.
To be fair, I feel like something like that might be a wisdom thing where it's like common sense.
He did say,
Yeah.
but I'm
There's an arm-sized hole in the wall with a glittering gem.
This must be the universe's sign that it wants me to take it.
But yeah, it wasn't a deadly trap, thank God. It just trapped. As long as you held onto the thing, you couldn't get your arm out.
That could be just simply as true as the ruby is big enough that you could fit in there with a special tool, but a hand grabbing it, you just can't pull it out.
Pretty much. It just grabbed your arm, and you took the ruby off the little thing
Well,
it's
you-
on.
well, you
so
didn't
it just
even
closed
need-
around your arm.
Properly engineered, you wouldn't even need like a special mechanic or anything. You just can't fit it while get your hand out while gripping a ruby.
Yeah. I honestly think it was just put that way in there
this
because
you can get your hand in.
Yeah.
This you can't.
in the book
Yeah.
it was a module in a book, and I think it was literally just that way so that a rogue could use tools to get it open
Okay.
with your arm still in there.
Hey, I have an idea. Mage hand.
Yeah.
we didn't have a wizard.
Not everybody has
well, yeah,
mage hand.
we did have a wizard.
Why?
It was-
Mage hand is the shit.
I agree, but
Yeah.
people tend not to take it.
No, they're bitches.
Yes. What are you going to tell me? They don't set. What was it? God, I can't remember it now.
But
I mean, for cantrips, like, what the fuck else are you gonna set?
There are a lot of good cantrips though.
I like presentation.
What's the sense magic?
I believe,
Detect magic?
I believe detect magic is a cantrip.
Detect magic.
Level 1.
That's
Detect
what I was
magic's
trying
a
to
level 1 spell.
Is it level 1? I could
Nope,
swear
it's
it
level
was.
0 in Pathfinder.
Oh,
And
no,
it was
in
in
5th
3.5.
I think they're talking about 5e.
Yeah.
I do think they make
I
cantrips
got
more
pissed off
useful
about
in
it too,
5e.
Jeremy, when he told me it was level 1. I'm like, fucking hell, man. That's like the most useful cantrip ever.
What next? What about read magic?
The same as well.
That's just I think that's just the thing you get as a wizard.
Yeah.
And there's others. There's also other things.
Hi,
that
Rock
you
Eating
can have.
Ogre.
Sup?
I don't play
There's
wizard.
illusion.
If you
strip.
want past, give me the
Ruby.
ruby.
Crunch, crunch, crunch. It tastes so sweet. Rubies are my favorite. And he
Is
exploded.
it like an ice cave? Or is it
I
just
th-
blue? 'Cause
It's just dark.
You see, it's blue because the NES only has about 7 colors that can get render. And that make it look different than the other ones.
Was it blue? I thought it was black.
Oh, it's black and blue.
I can't really see.
Oh, we beat up the cave.
Yes, Devin, we know you're colorblind. You mention it all the time.
No,
What's the angle he's at towards
Yeah.
to the
It's
screen?
literally just like everything's black on.
Hey, Devin, what color is this? What color is this? What color is this? What color is this? That's totally not an asshole thing to do to someone who's colorblind.
You don't realize how many times this happened to me. You go, fuck.
Oh, I'm sure.
Actually, that's actually the blue that hurts my eyes.
What's the difference?
That right there, that looks purple to me, actually.
Okay.
That's blue. That's like royal blue.
But,
That's the blue that gives me a fucking headache.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
It's quite cool.
That's the asshole thing.
Yeah, it's an asshole thing. That'd be like going to somebody with 1 foot and being like, huh? Do you walk like hopping on 1 foot and going like, do you walk like this? Is this how you walk? Is this how you walk, huh? Like, dude, you're being an asshole. Stop it.
So, what mysteries lie on the other side of this cave now that we got past the rock biter?
Porn?
I wish.
And that's why the rock biter never
It's the
moved.
ogre's wife who he's letting us have our way with because we fed him. Is that a little too personal?
I might have been a little. You
It's
might,
all consensual.
An interesting theory. Let's go see if it's the ogre's wife.
I feel like ogres can be polyamorous.
Well, that sounds more like cuckolding to me.
Oh, that definitely was a hole. What he was
I
describing.
mean, if he wants to watch, sure. Cuckolding is only if he's watching.
you know
No,
what?
cuckolding is anytime someone else does it.
You know what? Let's talk about something else.
Ian, somebody's burning.
Do what?
Did you have a candle lit?
Now. I use a toaster.
Oh, okay. Scared me for a second there.
But I remember, like,
What is that?
one time at work,
What?
Shadows?
Shadows.
I miscolored something.
They
They're
know
like
evil looks in the
little
hearts of
weird
men.
ghosty thingies.
Okay, I'm gonna put this
Anybody?
stuff that doesn't get put up out, okay?
Nobody?
What?
What'd you say?
I said they know the evil that lurks in the hearts of men.
The shadow knows. Okay, got it. Reference over.
Yes.
I was answering a question Caleb had.
But nobody likes Caleb, so.
I like Caleb.
Exactly, no one's here.
I couldn't tell the exact shape of what the enemies were.
They're basically they're ghosts. They're just an evolved version of a ghost.
Yeah, sometimes with those sprites, if you don't know where to look, you can't make sense of them.
Yeah, well, they're 8-bit sprites. So.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum. You're a wolf who sometimes has her.
This stuff, don't put upstairs. All the stuff in the paper.
Okay.
Yellow now. Oh god. Wait, are we still on the same mountain?
Different part of the continent. Anyway, allow me to introduce you to...
The ogre's wife.
Yes, the wise man Sarda, the ogre's wife.
No.
Isn't he the guy who?
Are we gonna have our way with him?
Isn't he the guy
That's
who
all I was worried about. But
thought it was dangerous for us to go alone and wanted us to take this?
Well, he is an old man in a cave. And he is giving us this rod.
Oh,
No, he's having his way with us.
yeah.
Use this rod behind the vampire's room, hiding deep
Use this
inside.
rod in the vampire's back room.
Okay,
Yes. Now that we've been given a rod by an old man,
Way with people, and so it works.
Daddy's sorry. Daddy's sorry.
well, now that we've received a rod from an old man,
Are we stuck in the washing machine now?
Zipro, what are you doing?
let's let them get it out of their systems.
That'll probably take about 5 minutes.
I feel like
Yeah.
Josh is like the straight
The
man.
disappointment is real.
I almost have to be. I can't tell jokes with all you people telling jokes.
Sure, we just have to be a whole group of people just joking around.
You have a very loose definition of jokes, Josh.
I was trying to be nice.
Well, don't be. We're not.
Anyway, we went into this weird cave that was full of pots,
And goes,
full of pot, and was given a rod by an old man. I think we can call it a day.
We took it all.
Okay.
We grabbed that old man's rod and we yanked it.
We yanked it hard.
Alright, that was the last one. We can leave now.
You told me I was going out.
Okay,
don't go home and take this.
so I guess we'll see you all next time or whatever. Bye.
We're going back to the Empire.
Later.
We're going to use this rod.
Yes, in Rod we trust.